Happy Friday. This is Anthony Special with Hawkeye Traders. I hope everyone had a fantastic week and is looking forward to their weekend. Before we jump into today, of course, we need to disclose that everything I share with you today is for educational purposes only. Please do not take anything that discussed today as financial advice. With that, let's jump in. Today I want to talk about what I personally trade, my sector. I trade oil. Most of you know that. I am the editor and investment strategist at Big Energy Profits. Through the, any exposure you've had to me, you know that this is my specialty. This is what I focus on. This is what I trade for a living. This is how I provide for my family. This is how I build my future. So I want to show you guys something that maybe a different angle that you never maybe looked at this in, at oil, whether it's a commodity or whatever. And I thought, since we were on the topic of ETFs, that we would flow that into how it relates to oil and how I use ETFs as a foresight for oil. Now, guys, listen, nothing is ever 100% and works all the time. But I just want to kind of show you how I knew this sell-off was coming before it happened. So let's jump into that. We see oil broke down through our crash barrier, Hawkeye crash barrier, on September 4th. Now let's take a look over here at the USO. Now the USO is an ETF that tracks oil. Not too complicated, United States oil. And with that, the USO is comprised of, the ETF actually buys and sells the physical contract. And with that, you can take a look here and see that we broke through the crash barrier and had the beginning of a short movement a day before it happened in the actual futures. So, how powerful is it to know that you could, look into the future a day? Isn't that something that's strikingly intriguing? At least to me it is. So when I saw that the USO closed the day before, and then started into congestion and looked like it was preparing for a short, it kind of gave me the foresight of what was happening with the oil contracts. So pretty interesting, guys. Let's take a look at another one. So this is another ETF. This is called the DBE, which is also tracking an energy fund. And just like USO, on September 3rd, it had plotted a red volume bar and started to head in a southern direction. It went from into congestion, preparing for the short that was coming. The next bar was a big red bar, and then you saw a huge gap down. This follows and tracks the oil industry. But it gave me, again, a day's worth of foresight to know what was likely coming in the oil futures contracts. Guys, any edge that you can take from the market, you have to take it and utilize it to your benefit to have some type of foresight. There is no magic globe here that we could just, wand our hands around. But taking the right tools and knowing what to look at gives you an idea of what's coming. Let's take another look at one. So guys, this is the OIH, and what the OIH does is it tracks the oil service industry. So all the rigs that need to be serviced, the tankers, the trucks, the boats, everything related to facilitating how the oil industry operates, that's what this is tracking. This is tracking those companies that are utilized to see, to actually manifest the crude oil being processed. So with that, we had a clear indication here that the direction was going in a downward, bearish situation way back in August 20th. Guys, that's 2 weeks ago. More than that, almost 3 weeks ago. What if you knew 3 weeks ahead of time that oil was headed for trouble? 3 weeks, not 3 days, not 3 hours, 3 weeks. You can go, oh, maybe now's not the time to take a long position. Guys, sometimes it's about avoiding a loss is just as important as, getting into the winning trade. We like to keep our balance pretty healthy here. Now, this next one's going to blow your mind. This is the XLE, which is also tracking the oil energy industry. Guys, this ETF has told us there's been a short bias to the oil industry since June 11th. So the whole time oil was, I don't want to say rallying, but recovering from going negative and congesting along the upside, there was an underlying bias to the downside this entire time. So how important is it to know that maybe it's not the right time to take a long position, and it's better to wait out for a short position if you had an idea that for an underlying amount of time. Now, guys, this rewinds 3 months, not 3 days, not 3 hours, not 3 weeks. 3 months ago, we knew that there was something underlying in the oil industry that maybe taking a long position was probably not the right choice to make. So I just want to share these ETFs with you. I want to share with you how I use them when I'm looking at a macro view of the oil market. Like I said, limiting our losses is just as important as taking big winners. So I want to share this with you guys. I think it's very important that you see, to look at the broad stroke of the entire industry. When we're compiling our trades, we want to take trades in our absolute favor. And even with this little rally that we're seeing in oil the past couple days, that's a byproduct of Sally. There's still, the Hurricane Sally in the Gulf that hit Alabama. They're still assessing damage to the rigs, assessing damage. How quickly can they put everything back online from this hurricane? So, guys, that may just be temporary. While we're seeing all these other sectors are still selling off around the energy business. Just be patient, but it's just great foresight to know that we knew 3 months ago that the underlying oil market was struggling, and this rally was not super super sustainable. So, it can turn on a dime, but I just wanted to show this to you guys so you have a little foresight of the other things I look at, when I'm considering taking a position. In life, we have many opportunities to make many different choices. And you truly are one choice away from changing everything in your life. And that choice comes every day. Every day you get to make a choice about being happy. You get to make a choice about being healthy. You get a choice about controlling your finances, controlling your future. We're very limited on the choices that we don't get to make. There are two things that are ultimate, that are out of our control: death and taxes. Other than those two things, the majority of the rest of our life becomes a compilation of the choices that we have chosen to make. There's rewards for some choices. There's consequences for some choices. Depending on the choices you make will depend on whether you are rewarded or you suffer a consequence. Guys, this stems so far beyond just trading. This stems into life. This stems into opportunities. The most successful people are typically able to, when the opportunity presents itself, to make a choice. Guys, if you can make the right choice, you can see a different future. There's always a V in the road. You can go left, you can go right. Normally one of the two is a little more uncomfortable. Typically, the more uncomfortable choice is the choice that you need to make. So with that in mind, just keep that thought process as your day evolves, as your life evolves, as your trading career evolves, as your path to health and wealth and success evolves. Everything that manifests in your life is a byproduct of a choice that you have made at some point in time. So that's my little token for today. I hope that resonates with some or most of you, because it's pretty important. Now, guys, we talked about energy today, and I've discussed this all week. We are literally prepared to launch big energy profits in the coming days. Early next week, you're going to get emails from me. You're going to get emails from Hawkeye Traders. You're going to get emails from Big Energy Profits, Market Traders Daily. You're going to get all the access to my entire life's work. And with that, I ask you, with the most humbleness inside of me, to take a little time out of your day, watch the webinar that myself and my team have worked endlessly to prepare for you, and give me your feedback. If you're ready to jump in and work with me, I am ecstatic to bring my success to the table for you. If you have questions, comments, concerns, shoot me an email. I would love to hear from you. I would love to get your perspective and make sure that if you're going to work with me, that it's the right fit. For me, it's so important that you become successful when you're working with me, when you're listening to me, when you're taking advice from me, when you're following me, when I'm coaching you. It means the world to me that I bring you the most amount of value. So guys, please, please, please open the emails, check out the webinar, reach out to me with any questions, comments, and concerns. I would love to talk to each and every one of you. Now, with that, I'll wrap up for today. I want to wish you a blessed day, a profitable day, and a great weekend. Guys, give us a call, 888-233-8598. You could visit us anytime at HawkeyeTraders.com. Email me, email our team, our support staff, Randy, team1 at HawkeyeTraders.com. And guys, if you aren't using Hawkeye yet, if you aren't part of our family, if you aren't getting access to all the support and training and everything that we work so hard every day to bring to you, click the link below, watch the webinar. The webinar is called V-Swarm. You're going to get a greater picture of how I use these tools through Hawkeye to generate myself a very rewarding 6-figure a year income. Guys, when I tell you this has literally changed my life, I wouldn't be here sharing my time with you if it didn't. That's how passionate I am, and I hope that comes across in everything that I share with you. All right, guys, have a great day. Have a great weekend. God bless.